Boom. All right, what's up, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about whether Bitcoin can continue to prove itself as a chaos hedge and thrive during times of geopolitical uncertainty, or whether it will regain correlation to the equity markets and continue its descent along with the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. All right, so gonna keep this one short and sweet, you guys. We have TradingView in front of us where we will look at Bitcoin on the charts. I'll give you guys the two scenarios, both bullish and bearish, that I see potentially playing out for Bitcoin over the short term. Again, short and sweet here. You already have a hint as to what I'm thinking, but I will justify and rationalize some of these indicators and targets that I'm keeping an eye on. But we'll kick off the video by talking some fundamentals. CoinDesk article titled "Market Wrap: Bitcoin Dips Trading Range Could Result in Sharp Price Swings. Analysts expect 2 or 3 months of price stabilization before a recovery. Others expect greater volatility." So, of course, you guys know I do enjoy reading articles for you and talking some fundamentals, because fundamentals will always hold significant relevance, of course, in every analysis. But the main reason that I wanted to cover this one is because the authors included a wave as the title image, and I felt it would be appropriate for the Waves fam. So let's get to reading, you guys, and again, I'll try to justify these two price targets for you and let you know whether I personally lean bullish or bearish. Before you do, you guys, it means a lot if you guys give the video a like. Appreciate that, and subscribe to the channel if for some reason you're not already. Let me know in the comments down below as well whether you are currently bullish or bearish on Bitcoin. I mean, it's a tough read right now, and I'm sure a lot of you feel the same, but let me know whether you lean bullish or bearish, okay? And I'll see you in the comments down below. Bitcoin remained below $40,000 on Monday. Selling pressure intensified. Equities also traded lower amid Russia's increasing attacks on Ukraine. Stock market tanked today, you guys. The S&P, the NASDAQ down like 3%, which is pretty staggering. But thankfully, the portfolio was prepared. Shout out to you guys. We're well hedged. You guys know we have been well hedged. So, I mean, it feels good. Talks among U.S. officials about potential ban on Russian oil imports triggered a surge in energy prices over the past few days. Higher prices at the pump could lead to slower economic growth and lower stock prices. Moving down. This is an analyst's opinion. For now, some analysts expect the trading range to persist over the short term. I hate when websites do that. Quote, crypto markets will need to see a period of stabilization in the next 2 or 3 months before a more sustainable recovery can get underway. David Duong, head of institutional research at Coinbase, wrote in a report, the next major move in crypto could occur once investors have greater clarity on central bank policy and geopolitical events, according to Duong. Okay, so I'll let you guys look at this. This is a Glassnode chart talking about where just general overbought, oversold on-chain metrics. I'm not going to cover those in much depth, but I'll let you guys pause that because, I'm sure you guys can dictate this as well as I can and explain it. So I'll let you guys pause that if you want, but right now, still oversold, and that's what there are multiple indicators showing as well, including the fear and greed, which we'll talk about right here. The chart below, excuse me, guys. The chart below shows the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, which has remained in fear territory over the past 3 months, which could leave Bitcoin vulnerable to volatility shocks. The index runs from 100 to 0, from 0 to 100. Either or, with fear between 0 and 49 and greed between 50 and 100. Quote, with prices trading sideways in recent weeks, relative equilibrium has been established, Glassnode with a crypto data firm wrote in a blog post. However, given the limited incoming fresh demand, this delicate balance can be disrupted by any significant degree of seller exhaustion or conversely a reinvigoration of sellers. Okay, so again, you guys, this doesn't only apply to Bitcoin, but pretty much every market. When you're trying to make a decision, when you're deciding on whether you should lean bullish or bearish, which this principle does apply into the way I currently lean right now, does it feel like more people are buying right now? Or does it feel like more individuals are inclined to buy right now, or more individuals are inclined to sell right now? And if the technicals are pretty 50-50, if the fundamentals are uncertain, just think about it from a general game theoretical perspective. Play the game theory of the matter, get in investors' heads, and think and just you personally, Are you a buyer or are you a seller yourself? And that's usually a pretty good indicator if you're leading down the middle. That will skew you in one direction. Okay, so crypto fear and greed. Currently, we are right here. It is March 7th at the time of recording. Currently around what is that, like a 22, 23. So still lean very fearful, and have since the big rally we saw in November. Still staying in the fear zone. Kicked off the month of March. Getting back almost into greedy territory, but immediately sold back off in the wake of just geopolitical turmoil. So again, you guys, it's a tough read. We are still fearful, and when things remain fearful, especially in an uncertain economy, rates are going to begin being raised, which is of course bearish. Good news for the dollar, bad news for inflation hedges against the dollar, that which Bitcoin is the king of. So there are still all the factors that we've been talking about for the past month or so in play that do skew bearish. I was getting excited back here, you guys. This is exciting, this little bull rally, the short-term bull rally that we saw, because it gave us the inclination that Bitcoin could or was proving itself, as it had in the past during other times over the past few years, as a chaos hedge. So when there's global uncertainty, when the global financial markets are getting some rocks hurled at them, Bitcoin has acted as a safe haven, and even been a flight to safety. And on top of that, like a profit puppy for investors during times of uncertainty, which it did. I mean, again, little bull trap right here. Since then, we're coming down, and right now we're printing a very, very obvious and pretty textbook pattern that I'm sure you all are looking at. Jeez, stumbling all over my words today, but a very textbook pattern that I'm sure you are all eyeballing right now. So let's talk about that, and then, which is obviously my bearish take, and then we'll talk about the potential upside that we could see and where I see the upside going. But right now, again, over the past just few days alone, the tide has really shifted. I personally thought that it made sense that we would come down here and at least bounce off the top line of resistance as new support right here of this ascending channel. Worst case scenario in my mind was that we come down to reclaim this ascending channel, ascending wedge pattern, and bounce off of here, but we broke right below that. And once I saw that, I was like, well, shit, like I don't even know if this is gonna pan out. So realistically, you guys, I do skew bearish right now, and again, that's just the nature of the markets. I'm never super in this market environment. If anyone says they're absolutely certain about some price target or some general direction, this is not the market for absolutes by any means. So take everything with a grain of salt, and just do with this information what you will. Again, I'm not trying to tell you guys what to do. I'm trying to instill certain principles that I personally apply to my own trading styles, and hopefully you guys can take something away from those. Okay, so anyway, Bitcoin printing a textbook head and shoulders pattern right now. That is a pattern we've been talking about. So head and shoulders pattern, left shoulder right here, head come up, down, basing out on this right shoulder. And if this head and shoulders pattern does resolve itself, that would take us down. And you can kind of see here, I mean, this lines up pretty well right here. So this is the technical line of resistance that Bitcoin is currently above, but I'm going to count this in play right here. So just a general trend line right here. This does also line up with the resolution of this head and shoulders, which, if it plays out in a symmetrical manner, that would take us over the next few days, over the next like 2 days, 2 or 3 days, down to just above $34,000. So it's $35,000 is going to be my short-term price target for Bitcoin in the case that we do see further downside, which again I do lean in favor of. But if Bitcoin can break above this level right here, and I'll say if Bitcoin can break above, just to play it safe, $40,000, because Bitcoin is in a short-term downtrend. I mean, right here, series of lower highs and lower lows. For the most part, Bitcoin is still in that downtrend. Granted, we are range trading, but we're range trading over here as well. So maybe a little bit sideways price action followed by a sell-off down to $34,000 to $35,000. But if Bitcoin can break above, again, just playing it safe conservatively, if Bitcoin can break above $40,000, these levels over here, just obviously 40K is a pretty significant psychological even. Therefore, it will act as either a ceiling or floor, depending on which direction Bitcoin is going. And in this case, it is acting as a ceiling. So if Bitcoin can break above $40,000, close a 4-hour, better yet, close a daily above $40,000, I'd be very convinced in the fact that we will be retesting the previous support on this ascending channel, ascending wedge pattern as new resistance, which in the case that we hit that on March 9th and Bitcoin really pops the UE, that would take us to about $44,000. So I know either $34,000 or either $44,000. That doesn't give you much. But again, you guys, right now the market is a tough read. Overall, the markets are a tough read. The equity markets are actually a way easier read. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ look like they want to go down. And I've had my downside targets for those two for quite a while, which again is why thankfully the portfolio was floating today while many names were seeing some carnage. And hypergrowth actually did pretty well today too. Like Riot Blockchain holding up well. Mara and other Bitcoin miners got pretty smoked today, even Coinbase. But do love to see that the OG Riot blockchain was holding up pretty well. And yeah, of course, green energy was crushing it as well too. Silver is actually looking great right now. Portfolio is pretty heavy on silver miners. So I will actually be making a video on silver tomorrow. So stay tuned for that, because silver is looking pretty damn appealing. Silver is a time-tested inflation. Not only inflation hedge, but silver is a time-tested, just safe haven asset, okay? It's been proven over the millennia. So make a video on silver tomorrow, but that's Bitcoin, you guys. Let me know down below once again whether you lean bullish or bearish on the king at the moment, and I look forward to seeing you guys downstairs. Lastly, if you guys want to, of course, know exactly how I'm personally trading on a day-to-day basis, again, I don't want to tell you guys what to do. I just want to rationalize the actions I take, so hopefully you can learn from the good and the bad in what I do and the profits and the losses that I take personally. So I do update this every trading day during market hours with all the trades I've made that day, and of course I do send out 2 parts, part 1 and part 2 of a newsletter every day, going over the my general market thesis that morning, and also letting you guys know why I'm trading the way I'm trading, along with some charts. Like this morning, covered Bitcoin, covered the S&P, covered Riot Blockchain, covered my favorite silver miner. We covered Plug Power, green energy stock that looks great right now. So if you guys want that, that's $15 a month or $40 for every 3 months. That's the first link down in the description. So it means a lot if you guys check that out. Do my best to make that worth you guys hard-earned money. But if not, no worries at all. I appreciate you watching this video. And again, I'll see you downstairs in the comments. So until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.